So the definition of an anthology film is a movie composed of several distinct, self-contained stories, often connected by a common theme, premise, or director. So Garrett, I think this type of film lends itself more to the horror genre when you consider all the greats like Creepshow, VHS, Cat's Eye, Twilight Zone the movie. But let's not forget we have examples like Sin City and Four Rooms.
Yep.
There's even animated films like Heavy Metal and Fantasia. So
Oh yeah.
I myself I love a good anthology film. Do you happen to have a favorite?
Oddly enough, I really enjoyed the All Hallows Eve films, one and two. I mean, I thought they did a pretty amazing job, and if I'm not mistaken, that is where Art the Clown ended up coming from, and that's what brought us Terrifier.
You gotta be kidding me! I didn't even realize that there was a. Are you saying that there's like a movie before the first Terrifier that introduced him?
There sure is All Hallows Eve. Yeah, go ahead and check that out. There's a little segment in there, and then I believe the second one is where it's a breakthrough performance for him.
I'm definitely gonna check that out because I mean we're getting summer's about over and we're getting into the creepy months. So
Oh yeah, I want to say the first one takes place. A kid gets gifted a VHS tape during trick or treat, goes home, watches it with mom, and then of course pandemonium starts.
all right, I'm looking that one up. I would have to think that the goat might be Creepshow for me.
Oh, by far, yes.
We're talking anthologies. Let's talk about a film by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. Their 2025 underrated comedic action anthology film, Freaky Tales. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Jeff Johnson,
And I'm Garrett Gibson.
and this is a Film by Podcast. So, Garrett, before we get started, I'd like to welcome our newest Patreon member and shout out how unbelievably awesome he is. Eric Dirth has signed up for our assistant director tier, and that gets him the stickers, the color changing stadium cup. We're going to do a Patreon episode of his choice. And him being a new member definitely makes him awesome. But what makes him unbelievably awesome is the incredible gifts he sent us. So, listeners, if you'll recall, back in June, we celebrated our 400th episode with something truly unique. We did an episode on Richard Donner's 1989 film Batman. And right now, some of you are saying, "Wait, that's not right. He didn't do that." Well, our episode came from the alternate universe where he in fact did direct that movie. So go back and check it out if you haven't already, because I promise you, it's like nothing you've ever heard on a movie podcast before. And Eric, who is insanely talented, sent us a full-size theatrical poster for this alternate Batman film. Garrett, you got to see this thing. It blew my mind, man. It really did.
That's actually pretty freaking cool.
It is. And in addition to that, he sent us a special piece of movie memorabilia from the film, which again does not exist in our reality. And I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil the fun. However, we are working on a special behind the scenes episode for our Patreon about the Batman episode because frankly, a lot of you have had a lot of questions on what was real, what wasn't, and how we pulled it off. I just thought, instead of answering all the messages and the emails, maybe we just have some fun, do like a behind the scenes type thing to show you how we created this thing. But we'll be showing off the amazing gifts that Eric sent us when we do that. So look forward to that here in the next few months. And oh, by the way, go back and check out our Michael Mann episode on Collateral, where we invited Eric Dirth to join us. So great to have him as a Patreon member. Great to have him on that episode. Gary, let's get to it. I got some facts and a quote from this directing duo. Not a whole lot. They're kind of new to the scene, but I was able to dig up a little bit on them. So Anna Boden's love of movies led her to take an intro to film class in high school, where she wrote a report on Robert Altman before heading off to Columbia University to study English and cinema. Uh, if Amber Lewis is listening to this, she's already just become a fan of Anna Boden because Amber loves Robert Altman, obviously. Ryan Fleck, on the other hand, who grew up in Oakland, was always interested in the movie business after seeing his stepdad play a poker player in the John Wayne film The Flying Leathernecks. So, after studying theater, acting, and directing at Diablo Valley College, he went to New York to study film at NYU's Tisch School of Arts, which I think that's where Spike Lee went. I think we've talked about,
It is. Yep.
yeah, we've talked about that school a couple times on this podcast. It was at NYU where Boden and Fleck met. She was taking a summer filmmaking course, and he was working in the film editing department. They bonded over their love of Robert Altman movies, and that's what made them decide they wanted to work together.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so
And they've been kind of like a package deal ever since. I like it.
ever since, yeah, all their stuff they're together on. Fun fact for you: before James Gunn was chosen, they were heavily considered by Kevin Feige to direct Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh man. Not to say that would have been a bad move or anything like that, but I'm a
Hey,
big fan of James Gunn's work.
hey, listen. I'm not even going to hold my cards close here. I love Freaky Tales, and just seeing what this movie is, the craziness that's involved in this movie. I know they
Yes,
could have done a great job with Guardians of the Galaxy,
absolutely.
but I mean, James Gunn,
Yep.
I think he did just fine. So ultimately, though, it was their discussion with Kevin Feige about Carol Danvers and the journey that they had loved to see her take, which led
Yep.
them to being hired for Captain Marvel. So I mean, hey, we're gonna go another direction with Guardians of the Galaxy, but here's another MCU superhero film.
Exactly. Strong female lead, and honestly, is one of the first strong female leads that they had a standalone film with. So, actually, big feather in their cap for them.
I got to give credit where credit's due. Captain Marvel, it did like $1 billion,
Yes.
and I might need to go back and watch it. I've told you before, not one of my favorites in the MCU. But it kind of makes sense. But Ben Mendelsohn
Yes.
was in when that, and we're gonna see him. We're gonna talk about him a little bit in this movie. But Freaky Tales, Anna Boden had this to say when she was asked straight up, like, "What is Freaky Tales?" She said, "Quote: This is gonna be a mixtape of a movie. Things that Ryan loved growing up in Oakland in the '80s. Things that we loved about the movies that affected us when we were young." I think there's a little bit more you could emphasize there, Garrett. For I know a lot of people have not seen this because it just came out. What could you tell us? What's the film synopsis that Garrett Gibson would give us?
This is one of the better horror anthology films that I've actually seen as of late. It's truly extraordinary in the direction and the pace that it keeps going across the four stories while also intertwining the four. So I believe each story had their own kind of key point that it brought to the table. And I don't think this film could have done it without any of the four segments. So I believe it was actually done the correct way. And as far as anthology films go, I would rate this up there with some of the better ones.
Film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in 2024 before Lionsgate snaps it up, releases it in April of 2025. It just became available on HBO Max, where you and I caught it. We got to talk about this opening credit sequence. We get the grainy picture. There's some tracking issues. That title font, the excellent music. It's instant '80s nostalgia, and I cannot love it more. I think we're in for an hour and 48 minutes of awesomeness.
You're absolutely right. This, just everything about it, how it's shot, the direction it keeps, the pacing it keeps. It's very 1980s. So it being set in Oakland, 1987, it fits perfectly with any 80s gem that you want to watch.
You know, you mentioned there's four separate stories. It all gets set up by this title crawl, which is being narrated by 80s rap star Too Short. It's all about how wild Oakland was in '87. There's mention of this mysterious bright green glow that's affecting things. At this point, were you ready for how chaotic and off the wall it was going to get?
Oh, by no means, not at all. And just the first story it introduces you to, I mean, it's a like sucker punch to the face is how quick this film takes off for you. And I've got to tell you, I freaking enjoyed that first story that they kick off with. My goodness.
Well, let's take a quick break and then we'll talk all about Chapter 1, Strength in Numbers, also known as The Gilman Strikes Back. Welcome back. We are talking about Freaky Tales. And Garrett, let's get into a little bit of Chapter 1. You know, we got 4 parts to go. Chapter 1, Strength in Numbers, better known as The Gilman Strikes Back. So we open on this theater that's letting out where the crowd has just watched The Lost Boys. And throughout the anthology, we'll come back to this spot a few more times. And each time we're treated to a little more of the marquee. Aside from The Lost Boys, did you happen to catch the other films that were playing that weekend?
I did not know.
Oh, okay. So it's The Lost Boys,
Yep.
Ishtar,
Oh.
Radio Days, Raising Arizona,
Oh my gosh.
and on the side it says coming soon, Creep Show 2.
Dude, okay. Way to pay homage to a super classic anthology film there, okay?
I'm gonna be a box office nerd here for a second because I'm assuming that there's got to be some kind of connective tissue either between these movies or they're chosen for a certain reason.
Yes.
You mentioned, Creep Show 2, obviously an awesome horror anthology. But here's the thing: if we're gonna get technical, The Lost Boys came out July 31st. Ishtar came out May 15th. Radio Days came out January 30th. Raising Arizona came out March 13th, and Creep Show, which we see as coming soon, actually came out May 1st. So, because I was all excited, I was like, wait, did all these movies open against each other?
Right?
That's
Yeah.
not the case, though. That is not the
No.
case. So I don't know. We gotta talk with Ryan and Anna and find out why these movies were chosen. But we got punk rockers versus neo Nazis, and it's all going down at the Alternative Music Foundation, a nonprofit, all ages welcome, inclusive music club, mostly known as the Gilman because it's located at 924 Gilman Street. Garrett, one of the cool things about this movie is that each one of these little segments is steeped in reality. It's all about,
It is.
yeah, Ryan Fleck growing up in Oakland in '87. So these are real places. The Gilman, well regarded as the place that started the '90s punk revival. Uh, I was actually surprised to find out that back in the late '80s and early '90s, you may have caught such acts as Operation Ivy, which they mention in the movie, Rancid, The Offspring, and Green Day. All these bands playing on stage at the Gilman.
No way. Okay, that's actually pretty freaking awesome to see Green Day or like
Yeah.
The Offspring or something at
Yeah.
a like venue of that size. That's pretty freaking cool. That's kind of like the size of the attic that used to be out in Kettering, Ohio, just a little hole
Yeah.
in the wall place. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Also awesome. The Gilman is open to this very day.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So we could probably get out there and watch some up and coming punk rock bands out there.
exactly. Who
Okay.
you see at the Gilman today might be on. Well, I was gonna say MTV, but that doesn't happen anymore. But you, you'll see them headlining some big festivals.
On TikTok, yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah. So we're treated to some punk music, some weird animation. There's a will they, won't they love story that's kind of blossoming. And it all culminates in this wild street brawl with the punk rockers defending their turf against some scumbag Nazis. This blew my mind.
It definitely blew my mind. And I've got to tell you, anytime I can tune in and see a bunch of punk rock kids just beating the hell out of some neo Nazis. I absolutely love that. So I give that like first segment a 10 out of 10. Man, just perfect.
Yes, I know our good buddy Andrew Blakely has always maintained that Nazis are like the perfect villain in any movie because you there's like a universal hatred for them. You want them to get what's coming to them.
Exactly.
And this fight, it's both gory and hilarious. Did you pick up? Am I wrong in saying that there's a little Batman 66 vibe to it?
Oh, you're damn right there is. Yeah.
I tell you, man, when that one Nazi gets set on fire, I was like, holy shit! Like, we're, what are we doing here, man? Like, it's
Yeah. Yeah, I like how they just scatter after that. It's like just a classic '80s movie. Like, how did nobody die? What happened?
yeah, it's a fun segment. You know, the guy gets the girl, or you could say the girl gets the guy. Uh, music, love, it wins. Evil is punished, and I really loved it. Moving on, chapter two. Don't fight the feeling. We're zigging with this punk rocker Nazi fight, and we're about to zag into the world of 80s hip hop. And man, am I loving this one. So we go back to the movie theater. Now we're at a different point of view, this time with Barbie and Entice, the two girls that make up the rap group Danger Zone. They're like a rising talent in the local clubs that give off, to me, they give off like JJ Fad vibes. Do you remember JJ
Now,
Fad?
JJ
Supersonic?
Fad, absolutely supersonic, and then I was also seeing a little bit of salt and pepper thrown in there as well.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, there's some salt and
yeah.
pepper. So they get noticed by the guy who represents Too Short. He invites them to perform with the rap star at Jimmy Sweets. So nice little setup, right? And then the next day we're at their day job. They're at the ice cream shop, and we are treated to the slimiest performance possible by the brilliant actor Ben Mendelsohn.
Oh, absolute ultra slime in there, brother. It's a role that I'm surprised to see him in, but I absolutely love this for him because he
Oh,
made this character so hateable, and that just tells me he's a great actor right there.
God, oh, he makes your skin crawl. Like I'm concerned for these girls' well-being, especially when we get the realization that he's a cop. So now you're like,
Yes,
oh, now it's not just sexual harassment and being a creep. Now he's it's an abuse of power. He is so fun to hate in this movie, though.
he is. See, and you used to see that a lot in '80s films where you'll just see this slimy dirt ball of a guy, and you're like, I just hate your face. I hate your personality
Yeah.
and everything. And Ben Mendelsohn freaking kills it in that
Well,
role.
so what he's doing, he's slimy, but he's doing this in this really disgusting, playful way.
He
You
is.
know, like and I love the fact that the girls are not backing down from him.
No,
You know,
no.
like he has that moment where he's like, "What do they say? The darker the berry." She goes, "The harder the slap." He's like, "I don't think it goes that way." He's just disgusting, man. And he gets back in the squad car. His partner doesn't get an ice cream cone. He's like, "You didn't think to ask me if I wanted something." He's like, "Ah, they're out." Yeah, but it's too short.
The fact that they slide too short in there as what is dubbed the guy's partner because they never gave Ben Mendelsohn's character a name other than the
Yeah,
guy.
he's the guy.
Like looking through the cast, I'm like, the guy's partner. What the hell are we talking about? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, they never named him. Okay, there it
they
is.
never gave him a name. Yeah, so slimy and evil. He's not even getting a name.
Heck no.
No. But this rap battle, I'm telling you right now, it had me wishing there was an actual Danger Zone album because these two ladies slay Too Short.
Oh, they absolutely do. And they're essentially brought there to be made fun of for him to kind
Yeah.
of like walk all over them and it's like, hey, your rap is trash. We're going to go ahead and just dish you because you're two younger ladies out here trying to make a name for yourself. We're going to let Too Short just eviscerate you. And that is not what happened, brother.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember this is 80s rap, and this is the time of NWA and Two Live Crew, Too
Yep.
Short, Easy E. This is where there's a specific kind of songs being sung about women by these rap stars,
Yeah.
and they were there to just be cannon fodder. And I love the fact that they find their voice. You know, we talked about, we mentioned this mysterious green glow. It kind of shows up in all the segments, but it's almost like it's the moment when someone gets their power or they find their power.
Yep. And it's when they finally realize that they need to stop running or stop hiding or whatever it needs to
Hmm.
be. They stand up for themselves. And this one, oh my gosh, the delivery after they get the little bit of hype from the green glow, it's
Yeah,
freaking amazing.
the crowd is behind them, and they get the best of Too Short. I like the fact that it ends with him kind of smiling, like and giving them their props. They have the hug. It's a fun little segment, especially after the bloody battle that we got just like 10 minutes earlier.
Oh yeah.
So you know, we
Yeah,
we
this
took a different path on this one, I think, and it
it,
works. It really
it
does.
was definitely a nice little reel in to calm down the film because it's like, hey, again, we're starting this one with a sucker punch. You're gonna be reeling for the next 15 minutes, and then you're gonna go ahead and get into this thing that's kind of gonna slow it down a bit. And I think it's definitely needed.
So at this point, like I don't know about you, but we're a good 30 minutes into the movie, maybe. Did you have the same reaction that I did, where you thought to yourself, "Where the hell's Pedro Pascal? Isn't he the
Yeah,
star of this movie? Like, what's going on?"
especially since you see him in the first like segment for like 2 seconds, you're like, okay, I thought he was like supposed to be the main guy in this film.
Yeah,
When are we getting him?
yeah. Our two protagonists from the punk rockers versus Nazi fight. They're in a diner, they're having a nice moment, and he just walks by, and it's like, wait, that was him, but is he coming back? And
Yep.
and I'm thinking, because when you watch the trailer for this, it's all Pedro and Ben.
Yeah, it's
So you're
all
like,
you
what's
really
what's going on
see.
here? So, chapter 3, Born to Mac. Pedro Pascal has finally arrived. He's on the payphone having a very ominous conversation with a doctor. His wife is dead. The baby is in the neonatal intensive care unit. It's not looking good for the baby. And then a flashback to tell us how we all got there. He's what is it? He's in the car with his wife. They're parked outside late night video,
Yep.
playfully arguing about what to rent.
Yeah, he goes in, and then this is where they reveal a little bit more of his backstory of why he's actually at late night video, why his wife is sitting in the car. You notice a mysterious gentleman staring from across the street at the car the
Yep.
entire time he's in the video store. This is where you find out he's kind of like a fixer, kind of cleanup guy. Like, oh, you owe someone
He's,
money,
he's a
I'm going to come
collector,
bust your
some
knees.
muscle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it's inside the video store. We are treated to the greatest cameo ever. Now, Garrett, we're not going to mention him
No.
because I don't want to ruin it for people that haven't seen the movie yet. But how happy were you when he walked out?
When Hank
Hank, we
character's
can say
name,
his name, the
yeah,
character
when
Hank.
Hank
Yeah,
the character walks out, honestly, I was blown away to see him in this film, and
yeah,
then just his back and forth with Pedro Pascal for those. I want to say it's probably about 3 to 5 minutes. Their little back and forth,
yeah.
but it was truly extraordinary.
Yeah, the guy's talking about the underdog as a character in film, how we relate to said characters, and then quizzes Pedro Pascal's Clint character, which we're not going to get into right now. I know we need to take another quick break. So we're going to do that for the sponsors, but when we get back, we'll continue our conversation about Chapter 3, starring Pedro Pascal. You know what? Actually, I do want to talk more about Hank. So I know those of you listening on our Patreon, it's ad free. So we're going to dive into this specific scene a little bit more. And to those of you not listening on Patreon, we'll be right back after this message. Welcome back, everybody. Well, Garrett and I have been over on Patreon talking about what we think maybe is our favorite scene of the movie, but We are back on your streaming app of choice, talking about Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck's anthology film Freaky Tales. So, Garrett, jumping back into chapter three, Born to Mac, Pedro asks for some very specific 1986 movies: Big Trouble in Little China, Tough Guys, Ruthless People, and The Color of Money. And when you string them together, we realize it's code talk because this video store is a front for illegal gambling.
Yes, it is.
I didn't pick
It's
up on
got
that the
a
first time.
no. I had no idea. As soon as I heard Big Trouble in Little China, I just got excited because I'm like, Kurt Russell, there it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking
I-
like we got a green glow happening in this movie. We got
right?
now we're talking
Yeah.
Big Trouble in China. But think about it, like Tough Guys, The Color of Money,
Yep. And lo and
Ruthless
behold,
People.
they're
Yeah,
running an illegal underground gambling casino down there.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy in that basement that Pedro goes and pays a visit to that is in the hole a little bit. And again, as payment, he goes ahead and forfeits his tickets to the Golden State Warriors versus the
Game
LA
four.
Lakers game. Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Easily worth $1,000. Maybe 500. Jack Nicholson would pay $1,000. Do you know Jack Nicholson? Well, no, but
Well, no.
okay,
He's like,
sorry.
"Will anyone buy these tickets? I'll give you 250."
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Asian guy who is great because
Yes.
he gets the better of that.
Just undercutting him at every turn. I love
Oh
it.
gosh, yeah, yeah. Uh, I love the love for the 1986 movies because obviously, with exception to Tough Guys, we covered all those on our limited 1986 series. So go back and check that out. I love this movie because it's given me a chance to talk about all the episodes that we've done in the past. So it's like the plug episode. It's fantastic.
It
Um,
is.
yeah,
It's had that great little flashback. And since
yeah.
we cover a lot of the stuff of the flashback era, I mean, yeah, it's right up our alley.
So speaking of the flashback era, can we talk about the details of this kid selling his East Bay mixtape? Because now we flash back to the reality where Pedro has lost his wife and his kid. He's in his car. He's about to end it, and this kid comes up selling mixtapes.
Comes up selling mixtapes. At first, he's selling it as, well, yeah, it's got this hip hop artist on it. It's got this one on it. And then he's like, but if you're not feeling that, it's got some Metallica on it. It's got some
Yeah.
Prince on it. And it's like, hold on, what?
Wait. Okay. So this mixtape, and I had to watch this twice to get them all. Too Short, Richie
Yep.
Rich, and
Yep.
Tower of Power. And
Yes.
he's like, I know you're down with Short, but if you don't like rap, it's got Sly and the Family Stone, the Pointer
Yep.
Sisters, Sheila E. It's got the Grateful Dead, Operation Ivy. It's even got Metallica. So
Which is freaking amazing.
if someone has not already made the East Bay mixtape as a playlist on Spotify, they have got to get on it because this mixtape was fantastic. And
Yeah, this is like when the Guardians of the Galaxy released the actual mixtape
yeah,
that he's listening to. That they need to do that for this film.
and the fun thing here, it's the East Bay mixtape because every artist that he names got their start in or near the Bay Area in the 80s.
Okay, that actually makes sense. Metallica and all them's out from
Well,
California. Too Short,
it's
yeah.
yeah. So I was like, well, I know Too Short's from Oakland, and I know Metallica grew up in the Bay, but
Yep.
and I was like, wait, what about did the Pointer Sisters come from? And
Right?
dude, I went
Yeah.
down the list. I was like, yep, they're all from that area.
It
So
fell down that rabbit hole.
yeah. So Clint, Pedro Pascal, he's faced with the quote unquote one more job trope, which is always a fun thing in action movies. I'm out. No, one more, and then you're out. What'd you think of that one?
I love that because he gives him two options, and then he's like, "I'll take option three," essentially.
Yeah,
And then,
there's no
and
option
then
three.
yeah, there's no option three. Burns the money in front of him. Is like, all right, now I'm out. And then it's pretty much like, all right, we've got a hit on you now. You're done. This is your last day of living.
Yeah. So he gives option three. He delivers one of what I will say are the two best lines in this movie, like catchphrases. So Pedro gives him the I'll see you in hell with a gasoline suit. Now, I immediately recognized that phrase. Did that phrase ring a bell to you? Have you heard that before?
I have not. No.
So in March of 1989, Pete Rose
Okay.
said, "I'd walk through hell in a gasoline suit to play baseball." So again, like the throwback nostalgia to like the
Old
80s.
Charlie Hustle. I love
Old
it.
Charlie Hustle himself, yeah. Um, and I'm gonna get to the other catchphrase that I thought was it's as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, that's a Garrett Gibson phrase right there, you know. And I'll get to that here because we got to talk about the last chapter, chapter 4, the legend of Sleepy Floyd. And can I just say, I feel like each chapter is better than the first one before it.
I
This
w-
movie just keeps
yeah,
building up and getting better and better.
I'll agree with you on that. And just the portrayal of Sleepy Floyd by Jay Ellis is freaking phenomenal in this movie.
Guys, amazing.
He
Where's
really is.
Where's Jay Ellis from? Have we seen him in something?
Dude, no,
I,
I've done
I
some
can't
digging
believe
on
that.
it,
He's got to be
but yeah,
somebody,
but I'll say
right?
it's nothing like really too big, and I'm like, why hasn't he? Like this guy's amazing.
He's doing these weird infomercial things, like they're cutting, like they're almost doing like a RoboCop thing, like where they're going
Yes.
like with the infomercials popping up
Yeah,
here and there
got
for
the
his
inner
like what
city kids with him, yeah,
is it
walking
what
through
is
the
what's the thing,
streets.
psytropics or something, or
Psytropics, there it is. Yeah,
psytropics? Yeah,
yeah, psytropics.
yeah. It's almost like and again, you got to remember back in the '80s, like we had like L. Ron Hubbard, Dianetics, that was like becoming. It was like
Yep.
the ground floor of like whatever that what's the religion,
Scientology.
Scientology.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like it was yeah. So I'm like watching, I'm like, well, that's where we're going with that stuff. Astral projections and using your mind over matter. But so we're back again with the Nazis from chapter 1, and now it's their point of view. Lo and behold, creepy sexist cop Ben Mendelsohn is back. And if he wasn't abhorrent enough before, now we discover he's a homophobic racist, and he's secretly controlling the Nazis and this crime ring.
The fact that he plays the father of the head neo-Nazi.
Yeah,
Honestly, once you come across it, it's like, you know what? I'm not surprised. You're a dirtbag in this film anyway. Yeah. And then for them to be like, okay, who do we have in town that's playing this big game right now?
hmm
Okay, we're playing against the Lakers. Let's go ahead and send some people over to his house to just burgle it real quick. There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. Who has the best stuff? Turns out Sleepy Floyd has invested quite a bit of his fortune in art, fine art, and collectibles. And that brings us to May 10th, 1987. It's game 4 between the Warriors and the Lakers. I love that they chose to animate the game as they're talking about
Yep.
the game. And I don't know if that's whether that's a choice, like whether that's a creative choice or that's a because we get animation in mixed in throughout this movie, which is kind of cool. Or maybe they were just like, hey, we're not gonna pay the NBA to show game footage.
No.
But it works with the animation. It's so much better, I
It
think.
truly does, yes. Now we'll give a shout out just because we're, in this fourth story to Angus Cloud, the gentleman that played Travis that
Oh
tips him
yeah,
off about Sleepy Floyd's house.
yeah.
He was in this film and Abigail both in 2024, and he ended up passing away. This was the final two films he worked on.
No, this
Yep. Yeah.
that's where I know it. Okay,
Yeah.
Annabelle. I know. Now I recognize him.
Yeah, he was the shaved head dirtbag looking guy in
Yeah,
the
in that movie
Abigail as well, shockingly enough.
with
But
with
yeah,
your buddy Kevin Durant, right?
Kevin Durant, yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah,
Oh, that movie's
but yeah,
awesome.
he had those two and a few others in the pipeline, and he ended up passing away, early,
Mhm.
younger gentleman. So we'll give that a shout out because, dude, both films were freaking awesome. What I have seen of him, so at least leaving a little bit of a legacy in there behind him.
I'm glad you bring him up. I know we haven't really dug into like the actors, the actresses in this one. This is almost like a glorified Back to the Box Office since it's a brand new movie.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm happy that you mentioned him. Um, again, we're blending reality with fiction in this movie. Game 4, Sleepy Floyd scores 51 points, 29 of those happening in a single quarter, and that's a record that has yet to be broken in the NBA. And I just, like I've never been the biggest NBA guy. I loved watching Jordan in his prime. But
Yep.
the fact that I didn't know Sleepy Floyd, like I'm like, oh, is he real? Is he not? I'm like, well, he must be a real guy. And I'm like, oh, come on, who's going to score 29 points in a single? Nah, but it happens. But tragedy ensues. The bikers slash Nazis slash scumbags, they break in. Sleepy's family is murdered during the botched robbery. And this gears up to one of my second favorite moments in this movie. First moment being what we talked about on our Patreon takeaway there, but Sleepy meditates in what I'm going to call the weapons room,
Yep.
and then gears up as Metallica's "For Whom the Bell Toll" plays.
Now I've got to tell you this. So the movie reminiscens me of two different things here. It gives me major Kill Bill vibes, and it
Yes.
also like just how he's dressed and how he's gearing up. It reminds me of that original Blade film with Wesley Snipes. So like a perfect
Uh
mix
huh.
between those two.
It's what we I never knew that we needed that mashup, and it's here.
Oh, it
He's even
is.
on the bike. He's like racing to
Yep.
the Nazi stronghold on the motorcycle. Garrett, I think he slaughters maybe 18 bikers and Nazis before I lost count. But
Yeah.
just just when I had thought I had seen him slay enough scumbags, he Mortal Kombat style tears a guy's heart from his beating chest,
Which is freaking amazing.
and then he explodes Ben Mendelsohn like he's in
He
Scanners.
does. He does.
It's
Just
so
yeah.
good.
It is amazing. I mean,
Well, okay. So the one thing I'm thinking when this one kicks off,
yeah.
I'm a little disappointed because I'm like, wait, is Ben Mendelsohn just a piece of shit that's gonna get away with being a piece of shit? And then when he shows up in this one, I'm like, okay, someone has got to get him. Someone's got to bring him to justice.
Exactly. And
It's
you're
Sleepy
not sure
Floyd, baby.
exactly how this is going to play out. And then as Sleepy Floyd is tearing his way through the neo-Nazi stronghold, he comes across our good buddy Pedro Pascal that has been kidnapped by those Nazis,
Mm-hmm.
and Sleepy Floyd helps him get free. So that's a freaking win right there as well.
Yeah, it is. And the whole idea, like you're at this point, if you're wondering what are these weird infomercials all about, there's a moment where as the carnage is going on, we cut back to Sleepy's house and he's in his vault still meditating. And that's when I was like, wait a minute. He's This is all astral projection. He's not even at the place. He's just
Nope.
cutting through them, which kind of explains how he can go through like 20 or 30 bad guys and just slay them. But at that point, the movie hits another level for me. I'm like, I can't even believe that this is what I've been watching the whole time. Like his
Exactly.
school, yeah,
And
man, just
like it
awesome.
explains why when Pedro Pascal's walking out and the not like the younger Nazi kids are coming in, that you don't see Sleepy Floyd again. And it's like he was never really there. It's
Yeah,
all astral
he didn't
projection.
leave. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's awesome, dude. It's absolutely awesome. I'll tell you something. We didn't really talk a whole lot about what Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck have directed. I know they've done some great television. They've done a handful of movies. We mentioned Captain Marvel. I think they did a one called "It's Kind of a Funny Story."
Yes.
If you
Yep.
saw that, they've done some great. They've won some festivals with some of their short films. But I am excited about what they've got coming next. I don't know about you, but who
Uh
knows? Like
yeah,
you know,
after this film right here, I think if they follow it up with anything that is even remotely as amazing as this, you will see them back in either the MCU or the DCU or whatever it may be,
hmm
directing another one of these huge box office films. Because after delivering something like this with so much like already known talent or new talent, I think the sky's the limit for them. This
yeah,
duo is pretty freaking awesome. They're literally a real life danger zone.
yeah. Uh, it's as we said, it's streaming on HBO Max. I don't think it's any spoiler to say that we both recommend the hell out of this movie, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would give this two thumbs up any day of the week.
And make sure when the credits start to roll, don't turn it off. HBO Max likes to minimize it and then tell you like
Yes, they do.
what's coming up next. Go back into it because there is a fun Easter egg, which I won't spoil, And then there's we get the Danger Zone music video, right?
We sure as heck do. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We didn't mention Entice, played by it's her feature film debut, Normani,
Yeah, Normani.
who
Yes, sir.
I believe is from a popular group. Also did Dancing with the Stars. Fantastic young actress. I mean, everyone in this movie really knocked it out of the park. I know we kind of blurred through all the actors and actresses, but for the sake of time, but just hands down, just an excellent cast on this film. Well, listeners, what do you think of Freaky Tales? Have you seen it? Are you going to see it now that you know where it's at? You can let us know on social media. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. You can check out afilmbypodcast.com for links to all of our episodes streaming on the platform of your choice. Hint, hint, Patreon link is there. You should probably sign up because there's extra stuff. Garrett, there's like 70 something episodes now that we've got over
On
there.
Patreon? Okay,
On
bam, there
Patreon.
it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And listen, if you're like, hey, I don't know yet. Just remember, there's a 7-day free trial. You can check it out. And if you want, you can join for as little as $3 a month. And if that's too much, you can sign up for free because we're still dropping free episodes over there. We try to do it like every month, like one a month, maybe sometimes one every other month, but there's some good episodes over there. All you got to do is just an email address, get you signed up, and then you got access. So check it out. Write to us at afilmbypodcast@gmail.com with your questions, comments, and concerns. We may just read your response on the show and send you some A Film By swag. Garrett, in the past, our first run of T-shirts, I know we sent out several T-shirts just because we would randomly pick someone's email or Facebook comment, or Instagram comment. So as you already know, Garrett, we've got the 2025 T-shirts. I'm wearing one right now.
Looking damn good.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. We might send you one of those. All you got to do is reach out. Garrett, you're back next week to kick off week 1 of the NFL season with me, right? You want to tell the listeners what we're talking about?
We're going to go ahead and discuss a little Keanu Reeves film you may have heard of. It's called The Replacements.
A film by Howard Deutsch. The Replacements. I love that movie, and it does not get the love that it should. So
it doesn't, but I'm going to tell you right now that's going to get me ready for football season.
All right. Well, I'll see you next week, brother.
Yes, sir.
And to all of you listening to the show, following us on social media, and subscribing to our Patreon, we thank you.
These are the tales, the freaky tales. These are the tales that I tell so well. These are the tales, the freaky tales. These are the tales that I tell so well. I met this girl, her name was Joan. She loved the way I rock on the microphone. When I met Joan, I took her home. She was just like a doggy all on my bum. I met another girl, her name was Ann. All she wanted was to freak with a man. When I met Ann, I shook her hand.